Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Ancient Aliens Origins. This is from 2024. It is basically a greatest hits. If you know the Ancient Aliens series, which has been around at that point, this premiered at least 15 years. And you know the face, you know this guy right here. If you've ever watched any of these episodes, even if you've seen a handful of memes where something is maybe mentioned or presented and nobody knows the answer to, you get the meme where he's just aliens. You know, it's Giorgio Sakalos. It's Greek. Giorgio Sakalos, and I probably mispronounced that, and I'm very sorry, Giorgio. So, but I just nobody says his name out loud. I just no, it just doesn't happen. But he's in this. There's a number of other gentlemen in this that are talking to each other. They come back to it, and they basically throw back based. And each episode is kind of a different theme. They throw back to previous episodes, and sort of it's like a compilation of greatest hits in each of the disciplines of talking about the aliens that have been around on the planet Earth for thousands, if not millions, of years. You get Extraordinary Engineering is the very first one, and that's the only one I watched. Each of these are about an hour and 23 minutes long. Otherwise, I might have watched more than one, but I got the point. There's also just Ancient Close Encounters. There is Sky Gods and Star Beings, as you know how we would ancient Earth people would have seen aliens and flying creatures or flying machines as something godly. They would assume it's a god. We may have there's an argument to be made if any of this is real, that how people came up with the idea of gods to worship came from the idea of coming into contact with beings that were far beyond them. So we also have human genesis. The idea is that, well, maybe humans aren't necessarily from Earth, or they are of Earth but were engineered. There's not an Adam and Eve. There's not necessarily a standard evolution. Maybe something was given a jump start. Those kind of theories are in that one, I'm sure. Mysterious underground worlds, just sort of digging deeper than we've seen in the past. And alien arsenals of powerful weapons, I imagine. Alien observatories. Why are some of these structures created? Is it a way for the aliens who came here to interact, or to maybe it's a landing spot or something like that? I don't know. Extraterrestrial devices. Oh, look, it's the Ark of the Covenant. God's favorite toy box. It's what Indiana Jones was after in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Could that be an alien artifact? Submerged evidence under the sea. Who knows? Maybe there's alien evidence down there. Alien beacons. What is with all the things that are on the ground that are shaped as if meant to be seen from a high elevation, from high in the sky? You see it all over different continents. How are they made and why are they made? Well, that one's all about that. Alien messengers. Somebody's talking to us, and who might they be? And how do they send these messages? That's what that one's all about, I'm sure. And mystery of the pyramids. There's pyramids on every continent. Well, maybe not Antarctica, but at least on every other continent that has human civilization on it, pyramids have been built. Whether it's in the Americas, in Africa, Asia, somewhat in Europe, but they tend to have like monoliths and stuff like that. But yeah, who knows? So we got 12 episodes, one season of this, which again pretty much spans the entire 15-year legacy of the Ancient Aliens series. I'm Fox Mulder and Scully. I don't necessarily believe in aliens, but I want to believe. I'm just not going to latch on to every single instance of what people assume is the aliens is the answer to everything. No. There's a lot of compelling evidence about the engineering first episode of this. That yeah, there's a lot of things made of giant rocks on different parts of the world that are pretty much done in a very that sort of came out in very similar ways that we have no explanation for. That ancient people, they keep saying they didn't have the wheel, but I'm thinking a lot of these cultures had the wheel. A lot of these cultures were more advanced than we even understand right now, but we keep digging and we've learned more sometimes. There's a chance that they had understanding and knowledge of certain things that we don't fully understand without using our advanced technology. The big mystery is, how would they do it if they did not have the technology of today? Cutting rocks that are heavy, they're dense, they're heavy. How is that possible? And most of this episode that I watched is all about, less about aliens as the reason. It's just, it looks mostly at how do giant rocks get moved many miles to another place. And there's explanations for some of these things, but when you look at the just the clean lines of how the rocks are cut, how they're moved together, how they're moved at all by people they assumed didn't have the wheel. Again, I don't know as much as some of these people, so what I know is what I've watched here and other stuff over the years. But so I appreciate engineering and architecture and things like that. So this is much more interesting than, say, your average episode that's just like aliens. So yeah, to me this is interesting to see. They went everywhere from Peru to, of course, ancient Egypt to the island in the middle of the near Hawaii, sort of. It's just the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and yeah, just all over, and even Florida. There's a guy in the 1920s who was a loner who shut himself off, and he was from Latvia, I believe, and he was not a very big, strong man, but somehow he carved a number of large monoliths in secret, in a way that some guy with a saw or a razor or whatever, like, he couldn't have done it in any normal way. He had a secret that nobody can figure out how. It's in the rock. It's I can't remember the name of it. It seems it would be very clear, but the Rock Park, I think it was called. It's not far from Miami. You probably know what I'm talking about if you're from that area. It's a mystery. How did he make this happen? So it's not just ancient situations, but in many of these situations, whether it was aliens actually doing the cutting and the moving and the transporting, it also comes down to, how did they learn these things? Did they learn it on their own? Were they magnetized and floated, made lighter, and moved into place? And if that's true, how have we not figured that out ourselves in a natural way? Beyond, I mean, sure, we have electromagnetic, like monorail train systems where the train doesn't touch the track and moves smoothly from place to place. Yes, but that's with advanced technology. That is, or maybe it's not really that advanced, it's just using technology to better control it, better manage it. I don't know. But inevitably, throughout this, they go, hey, you know what? Was this made? Giorgio does say this pretty much at the end. He's like, are aliens? Can I say that aliens definitely did this or helped doing this? Helped to do this? I can't say that they did. But am I ruling that out? No, absolutely not. For me, it would be exciting to realize, yeah, maybe aliens really did it. And there is a recurring theme throughout so many different cultures and so many different parts of the world that shouldn't connect the way they do. But they do. And, yeah, we don't know what the world was like thousands, tens of thousands of years ago, and how everybody made such massive, centuries-long efforts to build temples and just massive structures, and why they did it. We can only guess. We can put together the clues and say, hey, yeah, that's pretty impressive. And then we can also say, if we couldn't do it, what we know about the cultures so far of those eras, were aliens involved? Until I have some real evidence that the aliens decided to only come here 10,000 years ago and then just said, we're done with that place. We showed them all we can show, and everybody thinks we're a flying bird or giant people or we have giant heads, and we let them see everything. But you know what? We're going to move on to some other planets now and mess with them and help them with their architecture plans. But we're not going to come back, seriously. When these people are a little bit more advanced, it's just gonna be a waste of time. They're gonna talk, and then they might, the people made us out to be gods last time. I can't imagine what they do now when they have social media. So who knows? As Giorgio says, is there a reason to believe that aliens did any of this or had a hand in any of it? No, not necessarily. But you can't necessarily rule it out until we can absolutely prove that there is no aliens or God. So, but yeah, it's hey, aliens show up, and if they're peaceful and not conquering, I would have thought that if they would have came back tens of thousands of years ago to talk to all these different cultures building pyramids, if they were going to attack and destroy, they would have done it. Because if you can cross an entire galaxy to get to our planet and not destroy it, and literally have the ability to know that, yeah, this planet has a lot of living sentient beings on it, we can wipe all this out and we can make a nice, just summer home here. They could have done it. And they didn't. Because if you have galaxy spanning abilities in a starship, you have the ability to destroy any place you visit. It's just common sense. I don't believe in aliens per se. At least not in the sense that they would have come here, teased us, and took off. If I do not doubt there is life on other planets, what that life is and how it presents itself compared to us is going to be fully alien, fully something beyond what we understand. And that's, will we ever see it? Unlikely. Unless things change dramatically. So that we can't just rest on our laurels. We have to improve our technology, push science to new realms, and not just use it to destroy ourselves. It's a good policy, I think. So yeah, this is, if you're looking, the Ancient Aliens series is also, I don't know if all the seasons are on there. I already did a review of that a little while ago. That's also on Disney Plus, and you can watch that. Or if you just kind of want a good hour and a half long highlight reel of all the major topics that this series presented, there's your chance to sort of lock it down. So, let's pick tomorrow's episode. 83. Okay. Don't know what this is. I don't think it's what it appears to be when I show you the title. This is called Raising Asia. I don't think it has anything to do with the continent of Asia. It's something else. I remember seeing it when I was going through the titles. We'll find out. It's a documentary. It is a docu-series it's a docu-series. So I can tell because I changed the color of the type to tell me if it's a docu-series or not without having to put words. So Raising Asia, whatever that may be, is what we're watching next in the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.